I gotta talk. I think we gotta talk about the main event first.
Yes, I want to talk about this and how much I absolutely hated it. So the whole point of this storyline, Fred, is you have Tony Storm and Britt Baker at odds with each other, and we have this weird female NWO thing, which is not coming across cool at all. It's coming across corny. It's coming across stupid, and then you have Ruby Soho in the middle. What side is she gonna pick? She's not really an AEW original, but she doesn't feel like she fits in with the outsiders. Like, it's building up to this crescendo
Yeah,
where you feel like this is not necessarily supposed to be a great match, but it's supposed to be delivering some sort of
it's a
angle at
story
the end.
advancement match, is the way it was
Yeah,
worked.
and the only real advancement you got is Ruby Soho was eyeing the AEW Women's title when she's standing in the middle of Jamie Hayter and Saraya, but it felt like they were building a Hayter versus Saraya match for the pay-per-view. Like,
Yeah,
the only cool spot in this match was Saraya spray painting Tony Storm's ass with an L, and then she delivered whatever she calls that at
the hip attack.
the hip attack in the corner.
Yeah,
That was funny. I thought that was really good considering they've been using the green spray paint. But at the same time, it's like, man, this still sucks. There's the talent in this match was very good. Tony Storm, in my opinion, is the best women's worker in this company. Britt Baker, most charismatic woman on the roster, much improved. Ruby Soho, your mileage may vary on her, but at the end of the day, she's a very solid hand. And I think
I
her
think
look.
Soho's been doing well in the ring since she came back from that broken nose.
No, I agree. But at her worst, she's a very solid hand, and she's not going to do anything disastrous to get anybody hurt in the ring,
Yeah.
or she's not going to have like massive botches. Look, she's in a completely different class from someone like Madison Rayne. So you have
Yes.
three very capable women's workers. This could have easily been a 4-star match. And I don't think that's insane to say. I think that should have been what we expected. Like, hey, just go in there and work. This was like a 2.5-star special. It was
That's
so
literally what I rated it. Was 2.5.
It's so disappointing to see what kind of talent was in the ring, the potential for storyline build, the potential to have a really hot angle coming off of this, considering how much of a dud this Tony Storm Saraya stuff has been. And then you get nothing. You get absolutely nothing. Why in the world are we putting this as a main event if, one, it's not going to deliver, and two, you're not going to advance the story? Fred, what are we doing here? This should have been like the 5th or 6th segment of the show instead of the main event.
I thought we covered this pretty well on Rampage. Where there was a big brawl after I think Ruby Soho had a match, and Soho looked, yeah, like Baker was brawling with Saraya and stuff, and like Soho just stood in the ring, and it makes Soho look kind of like a geek, and it's not good. I mean, there's ways you could sell the Soho isn't sure which side she should join, storyline that don't make her look bad, but here we are. They didn't, and she kind of looks like a dork. Honestly, if you if you really wanted to establish Soho as like a lone wolf character, she should have just laid out both Hayter and Saraya or Storm and Baker after the match. She should have just hit her finisher on both of them and then walk out. While everyone like looks at her angrily. But that's not what happened. I mean, her just yelling "shut up" at people isn't going to put asses in seats. But that's what we got instead, and this kind of sucked. It was a big disappointment. The match under delivered, and the angle was kind of non-existent.
You know what really frustrates me about this whole thing, Fred? Why in the world is Britt Baker getting beat here? Why? Like, if you're talking about Ruby Soho getting the title match at Revolution, okay, I can understand that. You beat Britt Baker, so then you get to face her best friend, Jamie Hayter. Okay, that at least has some cohesiveness to it. It gets you from point A to point B. It's a little bit of a roundabout, but it's not crazy. It's not absurd. Why are you beating Britt Baker here? You can still get Ruby Soho to Jamie Hayter in another way. Like, I hate this.
It was a banana peel finish. It wasn't. I don't think it really hurt Baker by any stretch.
Well, I think the win for Ruby was a banana peel. The loss for Britt wasn't, because Britt got kerplunked and Toni Storm got thrown out and Soho got the pin. It looked a little like a roll up. She stacked her, but it wasn't like Baker was fighting to get out. She was done.
Yeah,
like, this was a legit loss. I think Tony Khan is the best American booker in quite some time. Like, you're talking like the peak era of like Jim Cornette, Gabe Sapolsky, Ring of Honor, where we've really felt like there was a better American professional wrestling booker. But stuff like this just drives me bonkers. Like, what are we doing? This whole thing, and unless he's got some plan, and this is just a holding pattern for Mercedes Moné to walk into the company after Battle in the Valley, like, this fucking sucks. And we could be doing so much better with these talented women. And I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
Yeah, it was very disappointing as far as the angle advancement and a mediocre match. And I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see where it goes from here. But like, I'm not saying that I'm excited to see where things go from here way.
I'm excited to see where things go from here for the sole fact that, hey, this could be so much fucking better. And it's, quite frankly, Fred, it's just not. Like, you know what this feels like? This feels like Eric Bischoff trying to recreate the NWO for the umpteenth time in TNA. That's what this feels like to me.
I don't have a problem with AEW doing these two women are from the other company.
No. I have no problem with that in a vacuum.
Right.
It's how they're going about it. It feels like another NWO reboot, except very poorly done.
It's not great so far, I don't think.
Not great at all. But let's move on. I think I could yell about this for, I don't know, another 45 minutes, but we have...
You want to yell some more? I mean, I don't have like super strong thoughts on this. I don't think it was great by any stretch. I don't think the match was a disaster. The match was absolutely fine. It was an underperformance.
There were no botches, but it wasn't interesting.
It wasn't interesting. I was bored by it. And that was not the only time on the show that I was
Let's
bored.
talk more about being bored.